Hi everyone, welcome to the live stream. Happy to be here. Truthfully, I don't know how many people are going to show up today because we really kind of had no surprises in this finale. But if you're here joining, you can participate. I might do some polls. I'm going to talk about some of the weddings we saw, some post-season thoughts, and also build our time capsule, which this time I had the foresight to ask y'all during my videos to help build it while the season went on. So excited to show y'all that and hear y'all suggestions if y'all are here. But yeah, welcome back. Welcome on in. Happy Thursday night or whatever day, wherever in the world you are. Welcome to the Miscellaneous channel where we do miscellaneous things. I'm Zeleny. I typically cover TV, pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things on this channel, so subscribe if that's your vibe. Mostly I talk about a lot of Love is Blind on this channel, and it's kind of a lot because the season has been pretty controversial. The show is maturing. It's a little bit like a mess. The contestants are very aware of the TV aspect of it all, and I'll get into it. So let's roll the intro. This last episode was so unnecessarily an hour and a half. Like, why was it this long? There were, spoiler alerts for the finale of Love is Blind Season 7. It was everything we predicted, honestly. We had a breakup. We only had 3 couples standing at the beginning. We did have a breakup, and then 2 weddings that went through. But it was rough. I don't know. For the most part. Let's go through what happened this episode. And I'm going to start. I have a little PowerPoint. Usually in these lives I make a little PowerPoint. Hey. Sorry, I haven't been able to see the chat. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Light. And yes, the intro song is Animal Crossing. It's like a little version I made during the pandemic when I was learning to produce music. I never produced anything else. It was just like, it was Animal Crossing times, you know. So Love is Blind Season 7. Let's start with a different order. Okay, yeah, spoiler alert. And normally this couple has been at the end of all my videos because they were the last to get engaged, but in this finale episode, they bit the dust, sadly, as a couple. I mean, not sadly. The breakup itself was brutal, heartbreaking, sad, but it is for the best in the end. And I kind of saw this coming. I think a lot of us did, how the last episode ended, because it kind of seemed like Ramses was getting cold feet here, and he had been kind of like checked out for a few of the scenes we had seen. And so I kind of felt like it was going to be a breakup. And then that's where we started. And this was so brutal. Like, it was hard. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you watch reality TV for these like raw, honest moments and like human emotions. But it was pretty brutal to see poor Marissa get broken up with by Ramses, and in such a like, I don't know, like he was spinning a lot of cliches at her and not really giving her a concrete answer till the end where she kept pressing and pressing. Like, I know Nick mentioned he knew how to make salad. Well, Ramses knows how to make a word salad because, like, everything he was saying was just so, like, what are you even talking about? He wasn't giving her a reason. It was very like, it's not you, it's me. He literally said that. Stuff like that where he just contradicted himself. It kind of seems like he has trouble being like direct and just honest because he's trying to like seem very like sensitive or something. But I didn't want to include too many photos. This is it. This is the only photo. And I didn't want to include like much of her face because Marissa was distraught. Pobrecita. I was so sad seeing her, and I really came around to her as the season went on. I started out like not sure because, you know, it seems like she has been kind of conservative in the past and she's a veteran, so like it kind of makes sense. Those are maybe the circles she was around, and but it seems like she's really like in this transitional phase where she's like getting to be more progressive and kind of learning things, and she's just really, really sweet, and I felt so terrible for her, even though this is such a blessing in disguise. Like, Ramses is so not worth her time, and she's super fierce. She's gonna be a lawyer. She has all this going for her. She's beautiful. So it was very tragic, and to see this like pain, she was really in pain with Ramses, him breaking up with her, and it was very blindsiding. Like, she was saying this came out of nowhere. 2 days ago he was excited about the wedding. So I'm in the same boat. I like feeling like, where did this all come from? And he can't even give like a good reason. And then his reason ended up, once she pressed, was like, oh, I can't take your energy, and like living with your energy, because she's kind of like energetic and bubbly. I assume that's what he meant, but like, she's so nice and positive to be around. I don't know. Like, it's fair to, in the real world, decide you don't want to marry somebody, but it was just like similar to all the other couples that broke up. Like, he just dragged it on and just blindsided her last minute, and she was like fully distraught. And sorry, I need to keep up with the chat too. Hi Kim, hi Colin. Yeah, different views on the military, valid. Like, I think he kind of checked out after the sick week where she wasn't like giving him everything he wanted, and that's when I would have thought is ideal to break up if he was going to break it off. Just because, also, like, I'm still mad about the cancer thing of like, oh, valid question. If like you get sick, will I leave you? I don't know. It was just kind of like, what? Did he drag it on because he broke AF and can't pay to get out? I don't know, but he didn't make it to the wedding. So I do want to make a poll, because this is the fun part of being live. I kind of forgot how to make one. But I want to make a poll about like, because, okay, this season we saw a lot of breakups. Unlike we'd ever seen before. We didn't see any no's at the altar. And this is kind of like the approach Love is Blind Japan had. I don't want to, I guess, spoil it, but it's been out for a long time. But in Japan, the couples that were thinking of a no at the altar did it earlier, or just broke up before the wedding instead of like going to the altar. And it just kind of felt like cultural of them to be like more dignified and not do the whole humiliation ritual that we're used to in the US. And I prefer that, but I wonder what y'all prefer on that front, like, because also having breakups and no's at the weddings is kind of a big staple of Love is Blind in the US. So that's the poll I'm trying to make of like, when should a couple break up? Because I was mad. I wanted them to all break up so much sooner than they ended up at the wedding. When they're sure it's not working. So, like, dragging it on a bit if, like, they're on the fence. Or as soon as they get the ick, which a lot of these couples did. Okay, I'm starting the poll. Because I think for me, it's that third option. I don't know what's up with my chat up here. There's chat, if y'all are wondering. Yeah, for me, it's like kind of as soon as they get the ick. That might be an unpopular opinion because I think, I don't know, people want to like, want them to try, want to see them see it through. But for me, it was just like, oh, I'm so tired of these couples like forcing it. And then at the altar, it's like too humiliating. So I see the perspective of the people that want them to like try as far as they can, which is like what Ramses did, for example, or even like Hannah and Nick and Alex and Tim, who should have broken up way before they did. Like, I understand the people that want them to try like as much as they can until they finally break it off. But for me, it's like, stop trying to fool me that you're getting married. Like, just break it off as soon as you are hating each other and being in each other's presence. Okay, chat's back. That's good. So yeah, poor Marissa. Love her. She'll be so much better off. And then this was like kind of a moment people are talking about. Are you team this is a thong or team this is a mic pack? Because I believe it's a mic pack, but lots of people were thinking it was a thong. And just like such a serious moment, but it was kind of goofy. Emily says, I think the hardest thing about their breakup was that it blindsided Marissa. He was telling her he was excited. Yeah, exactly. Like, she was heartbroken, and that was real. And there's very few moments in reality TV that you're like 100% that's real right now. And that's kind of like what we live for, but then when it's like a sad thing, it's really powerful and sad. Obviously for us too, watching. But yeah, this couple sadly didn't make it. Not sadly, actually. I'm glad because he had a lot of red flags popping up that she was kind of like really trying to work through and like make it work. And she deserves so much better. I think it's a mic pack. You can see his red boxers, but I cannot figure out why it goes down his butt. I know, like, so I agree. I feel like because of the other underwear, I'm inclined to believe it's a mic pack. But yeah, that's Marissa and Ramses. I had so much hope for Ramses. It's such a disappointment because a lot of people that are looking for marriage, and especially like fast track, really into marriage, maybe are less progressive some of the time or lean more conservative. It also depends where they are. Like the Texas seasons are super conservative and they're in DC, so it's a little more whatever. But I was hopeful for him and that he was gonna, be against toxic masculinity and all the things, but then he ended up shitty like all the rest. Almost all the rest. Okay, I'm gonna move on to Ashley and Tyler. I'm like, oh, who? This couple, I mean, y'all know. Y'all are on the internet. Y'all know. It's just so, and so I had kind of heard, and I tried in my videos not to like allude to it or try to like make predictions about the wedding outcome because I had seen with all the controversy, people had mentioned that they say yes at the altar. And I mean, I wasn't sure how verified that was, but I had heard that and I was so nervous still. And then we see they did say yes. And I thought this was an appropriate screen grab, I guess, to talk about this couple because even after they're saying yes, he's still talking about having more kids. And I have. Sarah asked if I saw the Instagram video of his baby mama. I didn't see anything from the ex-wife. I've heard things about the baby mama's ex-wife, but I did see the video that the mother of his kids put out about her side of the story. And I don't know. I think the ex-wife was kind of being pretty dramatic on social media, and I don't know if the mom was being I'm not sure. I wasn't following like the source as closely, but I did see this video, and her side of the story was that he was a donor for the first child for her and her wife, which is kind of like the story he's spinning on the show. And then after that, they broke up. I think her name is Bree, right? Yeah, Bree. Bree is the mother of his children. So Bree and her wife, who had the first kid, broke up. And then Tyler, I guess, moved in as a father figure. And they had relations and ended up conceiving the twins, which are the two other kids. But they were never dating. I believe Bree has always identified as a lesbian, and she talks about that in her video. But they, I guess, they were always like open. They were never like dating, but they were co-parenting. I think that's the story. And so she was very supportive of him going on the show. She was supportive of like meeting, if he met a wife, of being at the wedding with the children. Like, the children were going to be part of this. And then he kind of like ghosted them after the show, after he left for the show. It's pronounced Bry. Sorry. What's the name? If you have like the @ of the ex-wife, you can put it in the chat, Cam, somewhere, in the chat. Bry's ex-wife. Yeah, so it was really sad to see that video. She has it on her Instagram. Her name is like Bry, spelled Bri, Thomas 2 is her name on Instagram. And you can keep up with all that. You can check out the Reddit for Love is Blind to see, kind of keep up with that story. That's where I get most of my information. But it's so bad. And I'm so concerned, like, because Ashley said yes at this wedding, and now she feels like this. It just feels like Ashley really respects the institution of marriage. Okay, the interview is on Jessie Woo's YouTube channel. Yeah, I think I saw something about that. I haven't watched it, but I saw on Reddit people were talking about it, actually. And I think Storytime with Ricky, the TikToker who exposes everything, was there. They did like some sort of like podcast or long thing. Ex-wife is Deshawn. Bry and Deshawn are the, I guess, mothers of the first child, and then Bry is the mother of the 3 kids. But yeah, it's a mess, and we don't know Tyler. We don't know like his real side of the story, but we definitely know he lied to her face on camera. He just could have spun any kind of story to Ashley, and I feel like because Ashley respects marriage and sees them as a unit now or something, she's just been kind of on Instagram defending everything and like telling the public like it's complicated, but obviously she can't say much because she probably has NDAs and things, so it just kind of seems like Ashley will defend him if, like, when the reunion comes. That's my vibe. Do you think Ashley knew everything on the wedding day? I do wonder what he was telling her off camera, and if because he could easily spin it as like, well, I don't want to air out my ex or my ex co-parent or co-parent's business. I don't want to air out my children's business on camera. But it's just really shady when he said, like, the kids don't know what he looks like. Like, he would have had to, like, right when cameras left, been like, I lied about that. Just, I didn't want to say it on camera, but they do know what I could see a situation where he was telling her some things off camera, but that's giving him a lot of benefit of the doubt. And I don't personally believe he was being that transparent, um, but it's hard. Did you notice how his friend, I was wondering, so we had this whole wedding, just like all the weddings, and like his friends and family were all there backstage, whatever it's called, like in the groom's getting ready. And I'm like, do these friends know about the children, the 3 kids, and the child support and all these things? I mean, I'm sure they do. Tyler said she wanted to have the conversation online. They didn't show her meeting his mom and family. That's true. They didn't show Ashley meeting anybody. That's so weird. Yeah, I wonder what... Sorry. Is my mic messing up? I'll keep an eye on it. I don't know how much the friends know, and it's so shady because, yeah, he was talking to them about, like, oh, I want to have kids so soon, and blah, 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 and the friends are just like, yeah, sure, cool, like, as if it was just a normal wedding, and he had no children. Oh, yeah, in the Cabo, he did warn, Kim is saying, he warned her people would say he was not a nice person. I mean, his friends seem very, like, enabling of him, so maybe some of his friends would have stepped in on with her, but, like, I don't know. They seem like, this is your problem, man. We're not jumping in. The white guy friend knew about them, but didn't have the whole story. I don't know. This couple is so... We don't know. And there are still people out there that are not online that just, like, think whatever happened on the show is, like, that's the story. And that he was just a sperm donor to his lesbian friend. But, like... So that's so irresponsible too, kind of I mean, maybe of Netflix to be like... I just think of, like, all the people that watch this show and, like, don't see anything online and have no idea about this whole mess. I think at the reunion we'll see some of it, but I'm worried Ashley will be one of these, like, my man can do no wrong. I hope not, but... Or, I mean, yeah, he just spun the story somehow, but there's just no way. Like, these are his kids and he was involved in their lives. There's a lot of corroboration. As much as I don't trust Tyler, I don't trust the editors even more. Oh, yeah, for sure. A lot of people are saying, like, how could Netflix let this happen? Like, both, like, did production not do enough background check, or did they just know about the kids and, like, not tell Ashley while on set, And I just don't think they do their due diligence with background checking. I think they just trust what people tell them, and if they have a cast member they cast them, and I don't know, I just don't think they care enough. And like I said before in one of my videos, like, they're desperate for men that are, good looking and seem TV presentable and seem nice enough that, he could spin a story to the producers just as much as he can spin a story to Ashley. So it's hard to, like, know exactly who to blame. And I think at the reunion... It'll all depend on the reunion, and I've said it every episode with this couple because everything's happening offline, or online, but off the show. Sarah says, I don't blame Netflix for him lying to Ashley. In the real world, she wouldn't have a team to investigate a man. She should have walked when she found out he lied. Yeah, to an extent, she took his word for it. She mentioned something about, like, seeing documents about his involvement with the kids or what. And I thought she was headed down a good path there. But then, I don't know what happened to that. We don't know. There could have been something, but... Oh, there's conversations about Ashley having a case for an annulment and could press charges for negligence and fraud. Is that true? Lawyers in the chat? Marissa, are you here? Let us know. Yeah, I mean, I think so many things we think show up in a background check just don't somehow. Like the whole thing with the Golden Bachelorette? No, or the Bachelorette with Jen. The whole thing about, like, the guy had a restraining order on him before and, like, that didn't show up in the background check. Like, I don't know. I think they do the most basic, like, background check just for, like, compliance to check a box. And it's not really out of, like, let's really vet these people and make sure. They're just, like, meeting their own little compliance guidelines, like bare minimum stuff, because they're making entertainment and not, I don't know, acting in just good faith for love or whatever. Yeah, I heard he didn't delete the pictures until they got back from Cabo. Yeah, all the pictures with the kids on his Facebook. The mom, Bri, said that she saw he deleted his whole Facebook after they got back from Cabo. Maybe he just didn't think he would get engaged necessarily. If Marissa represented Ashley in her case for annulment. Hey. Yeah, Bachelor Nation seems really bad. I think all these shows are bad because they all have the same, like, basic-ass, bare minimum guidelines and protections. And reality TV is famously not very interested in protecting their talent, really. So I don't know, not much to say. I mean, a lot to say, but not much to say about Ashley and Tyler. It's really weird because they did go through with it, even though she did have red flags pop up about him lying. Because even if he was just a sperm donor, it was to someone he knew. So, like, he should have mentioned that in the pods. Like, there's no reason not to. Especially if he's spinning it as this big hero story. And leaving out the parts that make him look bad. Like, I don't see much harm in mentioning his story in the pod. So that alone is just really weird and a big red flag that Ashley chose to look past. And, I mean, she gave the impression on wedding day she really wanted marriage. Really, like, she kept saying, like, oh, this should have happened so long ago, or I thought I'd be here by now. So I think that desire just really won over. I think she mentioned something about, like, oh, like, I'm at the point where I'm looking in the clearance bin for men, and it's like, she didn't even know how true that was. Yeah, we need to see the reunion. We'll see the reunion with them. She also mentioned, like, my intuition's crazy, and I'm like, girl, oh no, intuition can only get you so far. I'm sorry. That was so ironic. Kim says, I thought Tyler was a sociopath, but he actually looked like he was going to have a nervous breakdown on his wedding. He was very nervous, and I clocked that, and I was like, we know why. Because his kids aren't there. They're supposed to be there. And he's ignoring this person. And Bri was his best friend. Like, according to her, they were best friends. They were close. So, yeah, I think he knew, you know, or I don't know. It kind of felt like guilt, and also like the entrance or like the music on the wedding day of like when he was coming in. It sounded like a freaking horror movie trailer. Like it was super intense and suspenseful to the point where I was almost hopeful. Like, is he gonna say no? I hope, but no, he didn't. He said yes. Oh yeah, and they jumped the broom, and I was like, oh no, like that broom is not strong enough to sweep away all your baggage, Tyler. Sorry. Yeah, he was so nervous. I just don't get why he's like, I want more babies, like, already. Just please stop, sir. Um, I've seen some of Ashley's comments on Instagram defending him. I haven't seen them if they were today. Um, I've seen that she's already been kind of like, y'all don't know the whole story, it's complicated, blah, blah, blah. So, like, I think, yeah, I think she's going to stay by his side at the reunion, and it's going to be very frustrating for all of us. So, catch me here next week being frustrated about that. Let's move on from them. This is like the most time I've given them. They always had the shortest section of my videos because I was just like, well, it's all online and it's bad. And like, we can't take seriously anything on the show because what the hell? Like, it's messed up. Let's cleanse our palette with our one hero couple of the season, Garrett and Taylor. They were super cute. I mean, I loved them from the beginning. I thought she was going to, or like at first I wasn't sure if her humor would be like getting in her way or something because she kind of used it as a defense mechanism. But as the season went on, like, she was really funny, and I appreciated her sense of humor, and she did get vulnerable with him and did let him in, and that was the only thing I was, like, nervous about at first, because she just seems very no-nonsense, like, she's corporate, and she's strong and powerful, but she totally was, and I liked her. I liked her a lot. I mean, obviously. And I think Garrett matched her well. I think the DM thing was kind of weird, and I still don't really get what happened and why his story changed. But I trust Taylor that she probably made him show her the messages, and they cleared it up. They had their long talk, and she mentioned, like, at the bachelorette parties, like, we have to be more forgiving right now when our men mess up because we haven't had a lot of time. So I like her. I like that she's, like, not letting him slide with things, especially when she's taking such a leap of faith. Kind of a contrast to our last couple. And Garrett seems to be a good guy. I mean, it's scary to say that these days with these seasons, but he seems really cool, and I'm pretty sure at the reunion they'll be hopefully happily together and cool, and we'll join this Hall of Fame of, like, the Tiffany and Brett's and Lauren and Cameron's and Amy and Johnny even from last season, of, like, cool, healthy couples that somehow justify this shit show of a program. How is Garrett the only unproblematic man this season? Yeah, literally. And a lot of the DC people were saying, like, this season's gonna be a mess. Men in DC are wild. And I feel like every city says that. Like, I would say the same of Boston. But it's just funny, like, they were right, I guess, with the DC one, because what a mess this season. But yeah, Garrett was cute. Taylor was cute at their wedding. They're sweet. A lot of people were hating Taylor's wedding dress, I saw on Reddit. Reddit had some weird opinions though this season that I don't know if they were as universal. Um, but let's do a poll for that. Looks like Garrett's living in California now. That makes sense. It's a big change, and he, like, good for him being down for it and recognizing, like, Taylor is, like, too important to lose, and he sacrificed a lot for her. And I think she acknowledged it, even though she was kind of, like, more in control in that situation. But she acknowledged how big it was and that she would make an effort to still involve his family and everything. Yeah, I want to make a poll about the dress because it was a little bit, so it was like short. You can see here, it was like right above the knee. People were saying it was like too corporate, but I'm just like, that's her brand. Like, that's perfect for her. It suits her. I liked it. It was very clean, minimal. Let me make a poll. Oh, I already have a poll. Let's see. Let me see the poll. Okay. Wow, 82% in the other poll say that a couple should break up when they're sure it's not working. So, like, give it a try, give it a try. Okay, interesting. So this season worked out kind of how y'all prefer, how 82% of y'all prefer. 6% are in my boat as as soon as they get the ick. And 12% say at the wedding for the drama, I guess. Cool. Okay, I have to end the poll to start a new poll. I forget, I make polls and then forget I ran them. Okay. Taylor's dress. Love it. Neutral. I always have to add a neutral. Okay. Dislike it. No wrong answers. I like the dress. I thought it suited her. I'm not a big fan of like wedding dresses in general, but I like it when at least like it suits their personality. Let's see, what are y'all saying? Emily, I loved her dress. She is so beautiful. She is very beautiful. Couple goals for real. Taylor served every look. She did. She served. And I appreciate like I assume she dresses like that in real life, but also like, you know, she knows she's on TV. Like, maybe she also stepped it up and really thought through her looks. Though I'm sure she's fashionable in her regular life. And I think she made him more fashionable that, like, his hair now, yeah, y'all saw in my video, I put a photo of him. He has, like, long hair, like, parted kind of 90s in the middle. It sounds ugly, but I like it. And he seemed, like, fashionable, like, wearing kind of like a scarf thingy. So I don't agree with the poll because I find it lame when there's only 2 couples at the wedding. Yeah, and I get that people that voted for breaking up at the wedding, like, it's such a staple of the show. So, like, I get that answer too. I think Emily says, I think what made Love is Blind special is the anticipation of what each person would answer at the altar, and it's not happening anymore. Yeah, I wanted to make that poll to just gauge it because I didn't know how much people are attached to that idea. Because I imagine some would be. It's such a staple, I think, of the show. It's not my favorite thing, but it's also a lot of iconic moments, like the Janina running away and like the, you know, the I choose me thing with Deepti. A lot of iconic moments happened at the altar and with a no. So it is torture. I'm with Sarah more. It's torture watching people drag a dead relationship to the altar. Like, sometimes it's, I guess, fun when they just hate each other at that point and are ready to, like, roast each other at the altar. Like, there was a couple in Mexico, if anyone watched that, where they both were, like, they read, instead of vows, it was, like, a diss track of vows because they hated each other at that point, and it was so uncomfortable, but it was kind of, like, hilarious. So I see the point, and it's so, like, such a staple. But I'm on team kill it as soon as you know. It's gone. Um, but it's interesting. I expected more people, I think, to be team say no at the altar. But people do really love Japan, and they kind of, they seem to like, they seem to draw that boundary of like not going to the altar if you don't intend to say yes or not going in good faith. And that's a big favorite franchise. So remember Jimmy and Chelsea? Yeah, Nick and Hannah dragged it out way too long. That couple is the one that made me realize, like, please kill it. Yeah, I think it's too much to ask to have your family travel to a wedding if you know you're going to say no. That's the other thing, like, yeah, wasting everyone you know's time. Callie says, it depends how sure they are of a no, because Deep D, Janina, and Paul were surprises, but Nancy and Bartice at the altar did another for me. They could have broken up earlier. Yeah, it does depend. I don't know. It was interesting that this season was the first that they just, like, dropped like flies as the season went on. Because they started out with so many couples. They had 6 couples. And, yeah, but Taylor and Garrett love it. How's the poll doing on her dress? Let's see. 58% love it, 33% neutral, 8% dislike. Okay, so Reddit was just hating, as Reddit does. I just think it suits her. And I liked it when she tried it. I feel like when she tried it on, I don't remember it being short. The short thing threw me a little for a loop, but, like, I really love the clean lines of it. And she's corporate chic. Someone said it, she's corporate chic. That's her vibe. That's her brand. Yeah, 60% love it. That's cute. I love them. And good for them carrying the season for us. This is right after they say, I guess love is blind, which is what the successful couples have to say. Kim says, isn't everyone's nightmare to have someone reject you on your wedding day? Yeah, that's why it makes good TV. But I don't know, it's just so hard. When it's when it's obvious, I think it's the worst, that they hate each other or they're saying no. It's just like, stop trying to pull one over on me, like, we know. But some are surprises, like Callie said, and you really don't know. This season was one of the most predictable I think I've covered. Like, usually I'm very like, I don't know what's gonna happen, I don't know. And this one I was like, I think I know. Pretty sure. But then don't sign up for a show where you get married like this. I agree. Like, so many of these guys, like, maybe they're not that bad in real life, but, like, when you're signing up to get married, then you look like an asshole for being like, actually, I'm not ready. Like, oops, I signed up for this. Like, hello. That's what Ramses, and Marissa told him, like, why did you sign up for this then? Like, if you need to live with someone long term to figure it out. I don't know. I think people just want the clout. They get excited. They are getting scouted. It sounds good in theory, and then they get into it and they're like, oh shit, this is real. Ugh. Isn't it always the men who are not ready to get married? That's what I'm saying. I think it's hard to cast men, and they have, like, if they open their, let me come back. I'll come back to the PowerPoint. Like, if they wanted to cast some good men, they could maybe open up their, or lower their looks threshold and probably find some, actually ugly men, which is like what the joke with Love is Blind since season 1, that, like, they cast beautiful or, like, conventionally fairly attractive people on the show, they've never tested actually, like, is love blind, as in, like, cast people that don't look conventionally attractive, like really short men, or actually, like, any weight. We've had these people that, like, say they have insecurities around their weight and things, like Hannah this season, but she's, like, plus-size model weight, not, like, I don't know, there's no body diversity. You know, if you really want to test it, you could test it, but producers never want to put non-attractive people on television. That's, like, the thing. But if they're going to do that, then they're going to end up with a really small pool of men. And probably a lot of, like, attractive men that are nice probably can find a partner in conventional dating ways. They're casting kind of older ages, too. So, like the good men maybe are taken, that fit their attractiveness criteria. It's interesting. I think, and it's, like I said, like, the demographic of the audience of the show is primarily women, so less men know about it. So I think it's just a really small pool they're dealing with, and they have to, like, scout and seek these men out and, like, convince them, instead of, like, the men being like, I'm ready for marriage, let me sign up for this off my own accord. I feel like I've seen a lot of places that Love is Blind scouts people on Instagram a lot. It's not just... Yeah, let's talk. The next on the, since we're talking about her a little bit, I'm just going to go quickly through final little thoughts on the couples, which Hannah and Nick, like, they took up, like, my whole videos. My videos were so long this season just because of this couple, 'cause they were just so much. And yeah, apparently Hannah on social now has lost some weight, and she's very, like, proud of it, showing it off. Honestly, I don't know, she already had, like, such a flat stomach and everything. I was like, what are you talking about? But whatever, she had her insecurities, and she seems to have lost some weight. Yeah, Emily says, I feel bad for Hannah. The internet's dogpiling on her. Oh, yeah, for sure. And that's what I thought in my videos. Like, she's mean, but the internet is ruthless, and she'll get humbled. Even though I feel at the reunion she's going to come out kind of just, like, proud of herself, or, like, backing up what she did, because she just seems very confident. Hannah's brother, or Reba says, Hannah's brother shaded Nick in TikTok comments. There was no further drama, but he claimed Nick wasn't all that nice. Interesting. Yeah, I do think, like, the editing is very... It's very one note with the contestants, or cast members, and they just show those scenes that support whatever their narrative is. And Hannah's narrative was that she's mean to Nick, right? A lot of the time. And I feel like they just show those scenes, and they might have had some scenes where they were nice to each other, or had fun, or laughed together. We don't know. But yeah, I think a lot of these people were so poorly matched that they ended up looking so much worse, and just had really bad showings. And I think Hannah is one of those people. Like, I do think she is mean and has things to work on, and she just doesn't have a lot of, like, sensitivity for other people's feelings. I feel like that's her issue. And being direct and honest can be a strength. And she's very, like, compelling as a reality TV contestant for it, but she just went too far, and Nick was like such an easy target because he was everything she didn't want in a partner, and he had a lot of flaws. He just didn't match what she needed in a partner. She wants someone to like be ready to split the finances and like be joined together as a unit in that way, and he was just clueless about it all. So I've heard at the reunion they're going after Nick for talking about Hannah off screen, saying he wasn't attracted to her, etc. I'm very interested because that's the other thing with Nick. He's very image conscious, and I think he was playing it smart and just kind of like taking it from Hannah, being the nice guy. And I mean, for all we saw, he seems very nice from the edit he got, and just like very immature in like a life sense. But like, I don't know, when he's talking about cameras and they're showing us that he's talking about like, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to be honest. It's a little interesting, and it's hard to know how real is he, from everything we saw. So that's Hannah and Nick. Horribly matched, and glad they broke up. They should have broken up sooner, but I'll take it. I would not have wanted to see them at a wedding. That would have been... And I don't believe him when he said he was going to say yes at the altar. Like, there's no way. There's no way. He's just saying that, like, for appearances and to seem like, I'm the nice guy. And he might be nice. We'll see at this reunion if he gets exposed. It'll be interesting. But yeah, that's Hannah and Nick, and they were a mess, and they were annoying to talk about, but also fascinating. I think Hannah will get cast in like Perfect Match, and maybe she'll have a redemption and things. She would do great on that kind of show, where it's less like real life based and more just like in a fun environment, doing crazy stuff and competing. She seems like she was always like competing with Nick, like she'd be a good competitor on something. Kim says, I think Hannah was mostly playing for the cameras. She would refer to Nick as her best friend, or that girl from the pods when she didn't really know what either of them. Oh, I think your comment cut off. Oh wait. Yeah. She exaggerates, she's dramatic, but it makes her a good TV character. I'll give her that. I would love to see her on Perfect Match, I can't even lie. She gonna get the Micah arc, Callie says, yeah. For real. Yeah, I think she has like a future in reality TV if she plays it right. She'll probably move to LA. Also, do y'all think... let's do a new poll. No, this is probably inappropriate. I shouldn't do a poll. But I feel like when she denied having lip fillers, I don't know if I believed it. I won't do a poll because it feels inappropriate to comment. But I feel like she had a little bit. After seeing the whole season and seeing like all these angles of her, I feel like she had a little pump, which is okay. It was just interesting. Maybe she just fell on the spot and on camera and like, I'm not gonna admit this. Like, that's what it is. I just feel like I've seen a lot of lip filler in my day, and I feel like she had a little bit. And nowadays she looks a little more work done, so that also makes me think like she was familiar, at least a little bit, with the dark arts of the surgeries. Myra says, I think she has fillers as well. Yeah, definitely now. Now when you see her, she's kind of has the LA look going on a little more now, and lost a lot of weight and things. So definitely now. But I feel like even then, a little bit. She had a little pump. I didn't notice personally, but maybe. Yeah, so this R.I.P. Hannah and Nick as a couple. And next is, oh God. Alex and Tim. they also had all this off-camera stuff we didn't find out about. Nothing new to say about them, really. She's kind of an enigma. I feel like we don't know her very well. She has a difficult situation having parents with illnesses, so like the poor girl was tired. She wanted her naps. Um, who knows? But and Tim ended up, I mean, he was obnoxious from the beginning. I didn't like his personality much, and he was just annoying her to annoy her, and like did things out of spite. So he seems kind of just like a petty guy. Doesn't want to communicate. Had high expectations without communicating any of them. I do think like there's nuance to like, did she like, was it rude to like fall asleep right after cameras left? But she had been with the parents for 4 hours, so it was like she had spent the time, talked about him the whole time, had a long day at work. They're filming, like all this stuff. Like she seemed disinterested, but also like I see the side of like it's very tiring to be on camera, meeting new people. Like 4 hours talking about Tim, like I get her side too. So it's like, I don't know. I just feel like we didn't get to know her too well, and it was all through like arguments with Tim. So again, like some of the other couples, if she had been matched with someone that suited her or matched her energy, would it have worked out well? Would she have been cool and chill? Apparently Alex has 3 jobs. Like, the girl seemed really tired, like, genuinely. And that's probably, like, the reason. I mean, she's not just, like, super tired all the time and low energy for no reason. So it was hard because it's like, we didn't see a lot of it. We didn't see the fight in Mexico, which was the key moment between them. And yeah, Tim, I mean, he had a clean apartment. We can appreciate that. But he was so cold at the end, relishing in the breakup. And it just didn't seem like love with this couple ever. I mean, he was annoying her. Like, I understand why she wouldn't like that and love him when he's just talking about the dog and him. And for him, I don't know, she wasn't meeting whatever high expectations he had. I don't think either of them deserve, like, I don't think Alex is getting that much hate. I think Tim is getting a lot of hate. I don't know. I mean, I don't care. I don't hate on anybody, like, or go to their socials or anything. So I don't really get that mentality. But, like, I don't know. There was just so much we didn't see. I'm like, what can we say about this couple? Nothing. Ramses took a page out of Tim's book. I mean, at least Tim was direct about it. Ramses was so... I mean, not at least. He was rude, but I hated how Ramses just, like, meandered. Apparently, I heard that breakup conversation lasted, like, 8 hours between Ramses and Marissa. Like, I don't know if it's better to just go the Tim route of, like, you know what, let's never speak again, bye. Or, like, just word salad for 8 hours and then be like, I can't handle your energy, like, after all this. Tim Arthur was playing for the cameras when he read that letter to her father. That was shady, and that's, yeah, I do not like that at all. And that was the part that made me mad. I wouldn't have cared if they broke up before that. Like, it just felt like, why disregard Arthur? I was wondering if that was his name. I don't know their last names. Yeah, he was playing. Or just like, what the hell was that? And like, talking to her. And the poor dad, he was so sweet. It's the same things I've been saying with this couple the whole time. Just like, don't waste our father's time. Don't waste our family's time. Even if you're grilling and everything, like, don't read this letter about how in love you are when you don't like her even. And I don't know how much she liked him at that point either, so whatever. That's that. R.I.P. Tim and Alex as a couple. Better not together. Kim says she might have a medical condition. Yeah, I mean, her apartment is messy, but, you know, executive dysfunction is a real thing. I struggle. Tim had this shirt in many colors, Alicia said. I did notice that. This was the controversial yellow shirt that his ex hated. But he showed up in several colors. So, goodbye to them. Next is Monica and Steven. TBT. We didn't get to see much of them, but good riddance on Steven. At least he didn't marry her and then cheat. I mean, he sucks, obviously, and had no business on the show. What a mess. And I didn't vibe that much with Monica's personality. I know people felt different ways, but I also think she was paired with such a shitty guy, whose, words weren't matching his actions. So, I just don't think he was bringing out the best in her necessarily, you know? And she was trying to communicate, and I kept saying she made good points. I didn't like how she made them sometimes, but, she was making good points and communicating and trying, and he was just, insincere, we find out the whole time. But, yeah, good for her. I like seeing her at the Gatsby party, and I can't believe she not forgave him, but, talked to him, and they're in good terms, whatever. And, yeah, Steven, Hall of Fame, shitty guy. Shitty guy Hall of Fame for Love is Blind. Yeah, thank God. If he was more calculated, he would have waited until he trapped Monica, Reva says. But because she didn't agree to all his bedroom ideas, he decided it wasn't worth it. Yeah, he was a sleaze and such a, snake. And yeah, I mean, at least it came out early and didn't waste more of her time, but poor lady, she deserved better. And I hope the best for her. I think with, a partner that, matches her stature, she would be a really good partner. I think I mentioned that. I feel like women are conditioned to forgive, or they will be deemed not cool or vengeful. Yeah, I'm surprised she talked to him. I would not. Could not be me. And maybe we'll hear more about that at the reunion. I assume they'll probably interact or something. But good riddance, Steven. Bye. And Monica, she deserves a second chances thing too. I could see it for her. They need to make a more chill perfect match version, or a more romance one rather than a sex bikini one, you know. There's all these are the sub-genres I've made for dating shows. Because some of these people would be fun, second chance type things, but more Bachelor-y, not Love Island-y. R.I.P. Monica and Steven as a couple. And finally, our couple that never was, Leo and Britney. There's not much to say. We didn't see much of them. I keep seeing that production has said they didn't choose them. I was actually reading this Vulture article that mentioned the journalist asked the producers why they didn't choose Leo and Britney, and they did say it was because they didn't seem very sincere and seemed like they just wanted to keep going for the show, and not because, I mean, they saw her obvious distaste for him, and he was just kind of clout chaser vibes or something. I wanted to see more. I talked about it. And I wouldn't say that unless I knew, they went to Miami and they stayed together for a while, because she was visibly uncomfortable at the reveal. But then if she went to Miami without cameras, that tells me she would have been comfortable going with cameras, because it's like less safe to go without cameras, I think. Um, in ways, unless she's like worried about her image, but they just both seem like they'd be down for like the airtime. Callie says Leo's looking real good now next to the rest of the lot. I mean, they're all kind of getting on even playing field here, huh? Yeah, Britney was recoiling in his presence. I mean, I would imagine she warmed up to him if they went to Miami, at least like in a friend way. Um, I don't know, but it's interesting. It's just so weird to me that like these two are being used to promote the reunion. They're being used to promote merch, which I'll show in a sec if you haven't seen it. It's super weird. Um, like Love is Blind official merch based on them. And it's like, hello, why are we doing this when we didn't even choose them to go on to stay on your dumb show? So the bar truly is in hell. That's right, Sarah. Yeah, we'll see them at the reunion, and it'll be interesting to hear more because they're such a mystery. We didn't get to see their story, and I think the torture there is that we know it happened. We know they kept it going. They didn't, and with these couples, they don't like invite them to the Gatsby party. They just pretend they don't exist after the reveal. So it's kind of like we didn't even get like a little update there. There is merch, yeah. I'll show you. It's going in the time capsule. R.I.P. Leo and Britney. Excited to hear from them at the reunion, I guess. So with that, let's move on to the time capsule. We've been waiting for it. This season, I made categories because there were too many things, and they all fell into 3 different categories. Callie said that Natalie on Out of the Pods, Natalie from season 2, speculated one of them would be on Perfect Match, which is why they showed these 2, and she has insider info sometimes. That makes sense, and Leo and Britney would absolutely jump at the opportunity to go on Perfect Match, so I believe that, and yeah, Natalie and Deep D are kind of like the sources, sometimes in Love is Blind stuff. Okay, so my first category for the time capsule was fashion. We had some fun little fashion, and we've already seen previews because it's stuff they were wearing. And this is what I had for the fashion. So someone suggested in my comments Leo's Rolex. Of course, has to be in the time capsule. We had so many references to it throughout the season. The leather jacket Hannah wore, and I wore in my video because I happen to have this exact one. I bought it at Marshall's in Vegas, actually, on the Strip, because it was cold and I didn't pack a jacket because in Texas it's not that cold, I guess. But yeah, the leather jacket, cooking pasta, iconic, and Hannah's white boots that she wore several times, also iconic, in a good way or bad way, leave it up to you. And then the spite yellow polo that we already saw, that Tim has like 3 of. Like, it had to be. It was so prominent, and it showed his pettiness. Episode 1, literally, we heard about how he bought this out of spite. And yeah, of course, Taylor's platform Converse. I saw someone in the comments say Taylor influenced them to buy platform white Converse. And she actually brought them back at the wedding, at the reception, when she was like coming in to get dressed. And then after, at the reception, she brought them back. So that was cool. They came back around. They are very bridal, I guess, in the end. I didn't see that coming, but that's some cool foreshadowing. Super cute. So, love Taylor, and a lot of her fashion could be in the time capsule, but I just thought the white Converse were so cute. This outfit was so cute, the pose, everything. And then they came back, so it was perfect. So that's the fashion. If y'all have more additions as we go, shout them out in the chat. The petty polo, yeah, and these are it. Hannah had some interesting fashion for sure. She was our Gen Z representation. Love it. Okay, next category is food. We had a lot of food this season. Is this cut off? There. Oh no, that's just how it is. I don't know why it got cut off on the side. But this is so there's several noodles. You can't really see, but these are Hannah's noodles on the bottom right here that she was cooking while wearing the leather jacket. And this is the pasta that Nick did not know how to make. So they ate it here with the brother. These noodles up here got cut off also, but these are the al dente bad noodles that Ramses made that were not very good. And then for Alex, it was, I don't know if it was Raising Cane's, but it was giving Cane's because she had the little sauce. And that's just my guess. And, they can't show brands and stuff sometimes. So I'm just going to say it's Cane's. But her chicken and fries would, she was going into the breakup conversation. She brought the plate over. That was fun. These others are a little more vague. I didn't have images from the show, but the mustard for Taylor and Garrett, they talked about that was their only disagreement. Very healthy. He wants to store it in the pantry, which I never heard of, but he's a scientist. I don't know. I trust him. This is the Brita filter that Nick knows how to fill up, and that's about all he knows. This is the barbecue that Tim grilled for Alex's family and he shopped for. That he made sure to throw in her face at the breakup conversation. And then this elote, when Tim and Alex were in Mexico, I was just really hungry when I made this. And that elote is so appetizing looking, and they were eating it. Oh, the elote. It wasn't like a main character, but I noticed her. That's for sure. Hashtag Team Taylor on the mustard. I agree. I mean, I'd never heard of not putting in the fridge. But yeah, lots of noodles this season. Love it. I love noodles. If y'all think of any more food, but these were them. Love it. I was really hungry making this, so that's probably why I made this a category. But I think that the al dente noodles and the boiled pasta were huge this season. Okay, and final category is just objects. Okay, good. This one didn't get cut off. So there's actually 2 objects in here that are recycled from last season 6. Oh, we'll come back to that. The Bible and the condoms, unused still. That's all from last season, from Amy and Johnny, and this time it's for Ramses and Marissa because Ramses is anti-condoms. And then the Bible is just for Ashley and Tyler. Because, that's that. And so we had someone mention like the stool and the pillow that Leo was always like hugging and throwing around when he was throwing his tantrums. I think that's a good one. These are like Target, I feel like Target stool and pillow. These little flower thingies that Stephen and Monica made, representing the flower she wanted so badly him to get for her, and he never did. And he just wanted to be rewarded with sex with for the crafting time. So that's the flowers. I think that was a key object. Of course, the ducks, probably the most iconic object of this. I don't even know what these things are or like why they're there. Like, do they exist at any other resorts? Is it like a thing at this resort? They're not even ducks. I don't even know. We call them ducks because that was like the thing, but like, what is the purpose of these thingies? But yeah, of course, they had to be here. And along the same vein, they caused the crumpled up bullet point list that Hannah made that, happened here and then came back around in the breakup. And I don't know. I thought a lot of the bullet points were projection on her part, but some of them were correct as well for Nick. But that was a key piece of paper this season. The mouth tape for Garrett and Taylor. I feel like I never mentioned it in my videos, but it was cute. I was kind of like wondering, will this become a metaphor for like he talks too much later and she hates it? But no, it didn't become a metaphor. So I'm glad I didn't I didn't talk about that. But yeah, Garrett gets taped up with his mouth and Taylor helps him. The trash bags of Alex's clothes, I just thought she had a lot of those. That's an object for the time capsule. She has so many clothes, and like I relate. It's a problem. And then the flapper headband for the Gatsby party, which I only learned it was called the Gatsby party because on socials, Love Is Blind keeps calling it the Gatsby party. But I don't know why it was the Gatsby party, but that was the theme of the pod party. And then those are the objects. I think a lot of people suggested Ramses's dreads. I felt weird putting that in. He doesn't deserve it, but maybe for the time capsule, for sure. What's the deal with the mac and cheese? American Pie meets mac and cheese, Callie. You had mentioned mac and cheese, and I wasn't sure if it was the noodles, the al dente's or the leather jacket noodles, but maybe I missed a mac and cheese reference at some point. Okay, and then this is a bonus to the time capsule. Love Is Blind's new merch is this. So they sell this thing on their website. It's all dirty, excuse it. They sell that, but they launch new merch, and I'm so confused because half of it is just like Love Is Blind cheesy stuff, and half of it is Leo and Britney related. And the mac and cheese. Oh my god, no. I know why I don't remember the mac and cheese. I blocked it out of my memory. Gross. Oh my god, it was Steven. Oh, I don't. Okay. No. I blocked that out of my memory. I remember now. Steven mentioned having relations with mac and cheese. And yeah, okay. Oh god. I didn't need to be reminded. That's hilarious. And the pineapples, oh my god, that'd be a good one. Yes. For which a lot of people were like, are they swingers? Because that's like the sign. But I don't know. It's also like I feel like older ladies just have a thing they stick to. It's like ladies that love like owls or cats or I don't know what are the things. But see, like, so explain, what is this merch? Like, we have trophy wife, we have art dealer, and they have like hats that say art dealer. I think, yeah, a hat. It's up at the top. like, these are references to Leo and Britney, and they're like on t-shirts. Like, trophy wife is on a mug, it's on a t-shirt, it's on a hat. For Britney, a person they didn't even choose to be on the season. Oh, pineapples for Steven. Did he talk about that too? About having sex with that too? That's funny. So yeah, they have. I kind of like the live, laugh, love is blind. Like, I would get that if it was better design. Like, this design is tragic. Um, I'm wondering if the my love language is all five of them is like a nuanced joke about Monica saying like gifts are my third love language, so you should give me gifts. Like, is it about that? Is it just general? Did someone say that? Am I forgetting like a past season? Um, I don't know, but this design is a little tragic, and I just don't get why half of it is Leo and Britney related. Like, out of all the things, why art dealer? And like, who's gonna understand like if you have an art dealer hat? Like, what? The trophy wife makes sense because it has the thing, but art dealer, just art dealer. Great. Um, I hope the love language is a Monica reference, but yeah, maybe someone said it like in passing in the pods too. But yeah, this is the new merch. All right, is anyone gonna buy the new merch? Someone should buy me one of these. I want live, laugh, love is blind. That's cute. It needs to be in the font, like the live, laugh, love font, kind of like the sorry and sorry I'm late. Kind of that vibe. It was called the Gatsby Party because of 1920. I know, I just kept, like, throughout the whole season, I called it the 1920s party. Because I feel like on the show they didn't mention it was the Gatsby Party. I see the connection. It was just like, I thought there'd be more of a reason, like, a thing about the theme. I think it's for Monica, but Tim also said his is listening, his love language. So maybe it's a jab for both of them being dumb and not understanding. Yeah, it kind of feels like a nuanced one, the my love language one. But it's better than, I think, art dealer. Like, art dealer is like camp. It's so bad it's camp. Uh, yeah, we'll add mac and cheese and pineapple both for Steven, and the pineapple also for Nick's mom, who loves pineapples, and we don't know if she knows it's a symbol related to swinging. I could see it being innocent. I feel like they say it's like upside down pineapple. I don't know. Yeah, this is the merch. But yeah, that's the time capsule. Yeah, mac and cheese. Now I see the mac and cheese. I was like, is it the mac and cheese that Nick can't make? But no, it was worse. So much worse. Um, that's the time capsule, and then the reunion. Ignore this horrible Photoshop job. It comes out October 30th at 8 p.m. Central Time. And sadly, I can't be here. Normally, I love to get on here and watch the reunion, like hit play when it drops, be silenced on live, and then debrief right after. But I have a thing that night, and they kind of like sprung this. So I won't be able to make it. So I'll be here like exactly 1 week from today, just discussing the reunion and what we saw instead of watching it live. And yeah, next Thursday at 8:30. Usually they do reunions on Sunday nights when it's live like that. Even it's not live anymore in the like live sense, but um, it's live like they drop it at a time instead of just in the morning. Um, and usually they drop finale Wednesday and then reunion on Sunday night, and I can be here live Sunday night. But they didn't do that, so it is what it is. I just have a commitment. iPod. I rewore my iPod shirt from one of my videos because someone in the comments asked where it was from, and I was like, "Baby, I'll mention. It's from." Yeah, it's just embarrassed. Like, I wanted to respond to that comment, and then I was embarrassed because this is like from a very Gen Z brand that, like, I went on the website and I was like, I do not understand. It has a lot of like weird sayings on their shirts and stuff, and I was like, what is this? But I just love iPod shirts because I collect like old tech, and I thought it'd be a really cute shirt for miscellaneous. I have iPods in my background and stuff, but it's from a like retailer called O Mighty, just the letter O, Mighty, and I think it's Australian or something. It was actually a really expensive shirt for what it is. I'm embarrassed about that. I'm embarrassed that I saw it first on Charlie D'Amelio and got influenced. But it was just like so miscellaneous coded. I needed it. Um, so that's where this shirt is from. This random Gen Z retailer called Almighty that has a lot of weird shirts with weird sayings that are too young for me to get. But I love this shirt, and I just splurged on it. And yeah, but I'll be here chatting reunion. I'm very interested in this reunion. We have a lot of questions, a lot of unanswered things. I think, I don't know, I feel like they don't go hard enough, and there's a lot of people to go hard on this season. Like last season they got caught up on other people and like glossed over Jimmy and Chelsea, who were like the most talked about couple. So I just hope we get the answers we need or want, and everyone gets grilled, I guess, according to what they did. Like, will they even bring Steven, you know? I feel like, I don't know. I guess so, but it's gonna be awkward. They didn't include him in the Gatsby party, so I wonder if he'll be there. But Monica should be there, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm very interested. Yeah, Tyler should be at the forefront. I hope they play the TikToks on the big screen like last year. I mean, yeah. Um, I hope. I mean, I don't think everything had come out yet, but all this stuff started coming out pretty early. At least all the like the child support payment owing allegations, the having 3 children, the photos of him with the children. So the online tea says all the couples are there, says Callie. Reba says Hannah will probably take the most heat, but I want her side of the story. I agree. I'm interested. I think she's strong enough, or like she's very self-assured, so I feel like she seems like someone that sticks to her guns, at least, even under pressure. So I don't think they'll break her down. Like, I think they'll give her some flack. And also Vanessa's kind of easy on the ladies, and we'll see this tea. I'm excited to see if, like, we dig into Nick and his off-screen, if he's different off-screen. That'll be interesting. There's so many things. And then Alex and Tim they'll probably ask about the fight and, like, the severity of it. Oh, there's so many things. They're not going to have enough time, and they're going to leave us hanging. I know it. They always do. And, yeah, I think Ashley will stick by Tyler. I think Garrett and Taylor seem like they're good and happy. Or if he's in California, that probably means they're good, I hope. Marissa and Ramses, there's not much to say there. Hopefully she'll be like, I'm over him and, doing great. And he's like, he'll try to justify himself and just ramble about whatever, I think. That's his vibe. Is that everybody? So many couples. Leo and Britney. I bet they're going to spend so much time on Leo and Britney. Especially if they're going to be on Perfect Match. They love to promote. And maybe they'll wear their merch on stage. Do they... sadly... not for Leo because he's rich. But they probably don't get any cut of that merch. That's for sure. They don't really share with that kind of thing. I want the ladies to call him out for the way he treated Marissa. That's all I expect. Yeah, maybe the ladies will get on Ramses a little bit and just give him a little heat. Come on. I feel like he skates by because he makes things sound nice, but I think people are catching on. We'll see. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in and participating. If you're in the chat, we got our poll. Oh my god, the poll really changed on Taylor's dress. 38% say love it now, 44% are more neutral about it, and 18% dislike it. Let's end the poll. Interesting. More neutral. I like to give the neutral option. I usually am more neutral. This time I'm in the love it category. So I'll probably head out. Okay. Do y'all know why tonight is an important night for me in any way? I don't know if y'all know me like that, but I'm very excited. It's unrelated to Love is Blind. Have I seen Love is Blind Argentina trailer? No. But I've heard a lot of things about Habibi. And I even saw a clip that was very poetic, and it was about the dancing. I don't want to give spoilers, I guess, not that I've even seen it enough to give spoilers, but the girl who talks about dancing very romantically, that was very cute, I guess. I just feel like I wouldn't have any cultural knowledge, and it would just be all the comments being in this culture, blah, 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 or I don't know, I just feel like I wouldn't have as much insight, but it's also still Love is Blind season. It sounds interesting. But no, tonight there's a very important pop music drop for me. It's okay if y'all I don't talk about it that much. Actually I do talk about it often on my videos, but it's in passing. But at 11 p.m. I will be watching the new drop from my queen, Gaga. She's making her big comeback. I'm a Big Little Monster, and tonight is the start of LG7, her new era. I'm probably losing all of you. We're talking about pop music. I want to talk about pop music more. This year has been so huge, and between Love is Blind videos, I went to Sweat Tour, and it was a whole fun thing, and tonight we have Gaga releasing Disease. I'm so excited. And Addison Rae also is releasing, and I'm a big fan of her. Unpopular opinion, I guess. But I just love dance music, and she kind of has an upbeat song called Aquamarine coming out with a music video. Gaga has a music video. So at 11, it's going down for me. 11 my time. In an hour. I cannot wait. So, this is an important night for me. I was I better end stream before any of that. Low-key, I was I should stay on stream, react to the Gaga video. But then, I don't get how music commentators react to stuff because it's all copyright shit, so whatever. Aw, thank you, Squiggly. We don't judge. She's one of the cool girlies now. Addison Rae has been being smart about who she hangs out with, and she's cool. I just really loved her debut EP, unironically. I actually made a whole video that I scrapped about, kind of her journey. just because it was just like, I don't know, I think other stuff came out that was important. Ugh, I guess I don't have her CD. I used to have her CD like around here from that video. But I really liked her debut EP. And I like her. I like this new one she's coming out with. I've heard all the snippets. Nothing can change or overshadow how horribly Hannah acted this season. There's a lot, though, in the reunion. Like, there's so many problems with all the couples and a lot of the people. It's gonna be tough. Hope they talk about the way Leo talked to Hannah. Hannah, polarizing. I think it'll be... This season is so polarizing. I can't... It's been interesting. It's never been this polarizing on Love is Blind. I talked about that already, but... It's all over the place. But yeah. So, give me your congratulations for my queen dropping music tonight. She's my all-time queen. She's my phone background. Always. Chromatica era, though. I need to change it, I guess. Yeah. So, we'll table it, stick a pin in it, corporate terms. We'll put a pin in this discussion and come back in 1 week for the reunion. Hope to see y'all here again. And yeah, I'm excited for this reunion because this finale was kind of a nothing burger just because it was all predictable, things we expected to an extent. But the reunion, I don't know what to expect. Thanks for the congrats. New music, exciting. Think of me at 11 or midnight, wherever you are. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to see y'all back here in 1 week. It'll be more juicy for sure. So I'm excited. Hope you have a good night or day wherever you are. And enjoy watching the reunion without me. I'll watch it like right when I get home that night. And take my little notes. And yeah, we'll rate some of the looks too. Do some more polls. And yeah, thanks so much for joining. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you're chatting, I know you're subscribed. You can follow me at Miscellaneous to keep up with when new lives are coming out, new videos. I'm not that good at posting, but I do my best on Instagram. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next live. Bye.